Thank you guys for your continued support. Welcome to Jafar Talk Show, and today I have a very wonderful episode for you. Our special guest today is Rubin Juma. Mr. Rubin Juma, feel most welcome.
Thank you.
It feels a very great pleasure to have you on this wonderful platform, and today you're going to help us in addressing the rationale behind why most youth are not fully engaged in agricultural enterprise. But before I proceed, can you please give us a brief description about yourself so that our viewers might be able to know little about you?
Thank you so much once again, Mr. Jafar Abdi, for choosing agri-business consultant. My name is Ruben Juma Kilonzo. I'm a graduate from University of Kabianga, Bachelor's of Science, Agricultural Economics and Resource Management. But currently I'm doing as an agri-business consultant, Nyanga Farmers Association, Machakos County.
Thank you, Mr. Juma, for such a very beautiful and wonderful description about yourself. I now believe that our viewers are able to know little about you. You understand that since immemorial time, agriculture has been regarded as the backbone of Kenya's economy, and in fact, it is one of the most lucrative business ventures within our nation. Youth comprises of both a chief asset that the country has, and in fact they are the most important segment of our country. But the rate of youth engagement within agricultural enterprise has been low for a very long time. Countries like Denmark, the United States of America, the United Kingdom, they have realized remarkable achievement in terms of engaging youth in agricultural enterprise. But most nations within African countries, they have lagged behind in involving the youth. As an expert, Mr. Juma, what do you believe? What could be the rationale behind for our youth not engaging fully in agricultural enterprises?
Okay, that's impressive, Abdi. So these rationales ranges from both endogenous factors to exogenous factors, where endogenous factors, those are the factors within the control of someone himself or herself. Exogenous factors, those are the factors that are outside the control of the individual himself. To our case, we are going to discuss all those in general. And the most important factor that affects our youth not to engage in agricultural enterprises is the lack of startup capital. Our most youth, they lack employment. Therefore, they don't have a constant stream of capital. They also lack what we call collaterals that are acceptable in banks and other financial institutions for acquiring loan. Therefore, this limits them to venture in agriculture, especially in arid and semi-arid regions where startup capital is quite high.
Mr. Juma, just to cut you short, you have mentioned one of the major reasons as to why they are not engaging in agricultural enterprise is because they are lacking fundamental source of resources for them to engage in agriculture. As an expert, what do you suggest? What could be a possible solution? How can they be able to acquire finance so that they can be able to engage in agricultural enterprises?
We got solution for that, where our youth should not worry about all this, because we have got small microfinancial institutions which do not require any startup capital. Again, they may opt to go borrowing from friends and families. That is quite impressive, especially for a startup business. To our youth.
Thank you. I now believe that our viewers, they are able to acquire resources like finance from families and friends. They can be able also to borrow from microfinance institutions. Thanks so much for that solution.
Very sure. We have another challenge facing our youth nowadays is the negative perception in agriculture. You find that our youth perceive agriculture as something that you do if you fail in school, or else they take it as something for leisure in one's old age. They perceive agriculture as incorporations of the poor just because it is faced by a lot of uncertainties and risks.
All right. You have mentioned the negative perception of the youth. I do believe that this is one of the endogenous factors, a factor within the youth themselves. So, Mr. Juma, how can we be able to make agriculture more sexy? How can we be able to make it more attractive so that our youth can be able to fully maximize their potential and engage in agriculture positively?
the best solution to this problem is through offering inspiring stories and testimonials of youth who have done very well in agriculture, who have prospered through investing in agriculture. You see, there is this proverb that says, where there is a will, there is a way. So if our youth lack this willingness to venture in agriculture, by no means they are going to invest in agricultural enterprises. So we should be very careful in that.
Okay, to interrupt you. Yeah, I think now you have mentioned that we can be able to give testimonials that will going to help them to create a positive impact on them. Thank you for that.
Yeah, sure. We got quite a number of challenges. In this case, I'm going to mention something we call household centralized decision making.
Mr. Juma, what do you mean by household centralized decision making?
Yeah, sure. When we say centralized decision making, here it's when the decision is left to the head of the family. And in most families, in the case of Africa, the head of the family is the father. Here, he does the decision concerning what to produce. They do not involve their children in making decisions. And maybe our children have that perception. They have zeal for agriculture. They have talent. They feel that they can do something very good in agriculture, but they are not given that opportunity or chance to express their views. So in this case, what we recommend is that youth, all our children, we should involve them in decision making, especially when it comes to what to produce.
Thank you. You have mentioned that we are living in a patriarchal society where the decision is being made by the family heads. I totally agree with you because the issues of gender disparity issues within the economy is now very high. As an expert, as a agribusiness consultant, what do you suggest? How can we be able to enhance women empowerment within our economy? How can we be able to give the same property right for both male and female genders?
I agree with you, and at a point you have just tackled that problem quite good, because the property regime right should be placed to equally to all gender in the family, because our in youth they comprise both women and ladies, or girls and males. So in this case, you find that in African countries, the property regime of ownership rights it's left to the male child, something which exclude ladies or girls from venturing in agriculture.
So you mean that we need to give them equal right for both men and women to fully engage in agricultural enterprise?
Sure.
Thank you for that.
So in another scenario to the problems that affect our youth from venturing in agriculture is the lack of technical skills. In nowadays, or in agriculture, we are basing agriculture, or we are adopting technology in agriculture. And despite our youth being graduate, they totally lack these skills.
Yeah, Mr. Juma, you have mentioned that our graduate, mostly our youth, they lack technical skills. But you say that these youth already they have gone to university. What could be the problem? Is it because they are focusing on theoretical part, or because they are not doing enough practical aspects?
You see that when it comes to our youth pursuing courses concerning agriculture, most of them nowadays they are just there to just do things, get things done. They graduate and just go. They are not more focused with their future. You see that even to those programs offered by the higher institutions, they take more hours in theoretical work rather than in practical work. And we do believe that seeing it's believing. And while you take the student through the practical work, the more you get that knowledge on what level of production is he or she is going to get the maximum profit.
Yeah, very true. Because most of my friends that I knew during my high school and university level, I have seen that they just want to pass examination, get their degree, and just go to hustle outside there. For those youth who are outside the universities or colleges, I think we have the Department of Agriculture. In this case, we have Ministry of Agriculture.
In fact,
do you think that such platform or institution can help those youth who are outside the universities?
Yeah, sure, very sure. I do believe that those institutions are doing quite good. The only thing that should be done there, it's the accountability and follow-ups, that the extension officers, they are doing the right job in which they are employed to do. You see, like as we said, that the rationales behind or the rationales that affect our youth not to engage in agriculture are quite many. But just to sum up with this, that a lack of infrastructure in rural areas is another challenge to our youth from engaging in agriculture. You find that so long as urban centers continues offering a good facilities or a good lifestyle for our youth, they will continue moving from rural areas to urban areas in search of a good lifestyle, leaving the land in rural areas where they are more productive in terms of agriculture, just because they see that the good lifestyles from the good amenities in urban areas are found there.
Mr. Juma, that is very impressive. I understand, to my view, that youth are conscious of lifestyle, and that is why they are moving out of the rural region to urban region where there's better facilities. So as an expert, what do you suggest? How can we be able to make youth to be attracted to the rural region? How can the government help so that these youth will going to come back to the rural and invest in this place?
The solution to that challenge is just growing or building amenities in rural areas and making sure or ensuring that circulations of electricity in rural areas it's quite good, and improving the infrastructure in those areas so that we can attract back our youth to their land in which it is more productive.
Thanks for addressing those wonderful problems that is preventing our youth not to engage in agricultural enterprise. But please, can you give us a snapshot of possible solution to this particular problem that is affecting our youth within our nations?
Yeah, just to give a brief snapshot of these problems, I, as an agribusiness consultant, I do believe that for every problem we have got a solution. And the best solution to this is through providing financial support to our youth, through incentives and subsidies to agricultural inputs such as fertilizers and all those. So through doing that, and thanks to our government for offering a such impressive program that is KEOP, which nowadays is offering grants and training our youth in matters concerning agriculture. Another solution that we can opt for is through involving our youth in decision making or policy formulation. Here it's where we opt for bottom-up approach, something that is now circulating everywhere. Here it's where we engage our youth, take their views, we take their interest, and we incorporate them in our policy formulation.
Thank you, Mr. Juma, for sacrificing your time for this wonderful and productive discussion with you today. I now believe that our viewers, they have got a very wonderful solutions to this problem. They have already known their problem. For our viewers, if they want to reach you, how can they be able to reach you through the social medias?
But before I reach that, I really thank you for involving me in this wonderful show, Mr. Jafar Abdi. So once again, my name is Ruben Juma. In social medias, Facebook, I'm Ruben Juma. In Instagram, it's Edward Juma. Thank you so much.
To our viewers, that was Ruben Juma. If it is your first time that you have been this particular channel, remember to give it a thumb up and do not forget to subscribe.